And as the Goodland Band's rendition of the national anthem fades, we welcome you to Cowboy Stadium in Goodland for the final game of the 2021 regular season and the 101st meeting in football between the Colby Eagles and the Goodland Cowboys. Colby 3-4, 2-2 in 3A District 6. Goodland 1-6, 1-3 in district play. Colby can clinch their 8th consecutive playoff berth with a win tonight. If they lose, they would need some help from southeast of Saline. They would need the already confirmed district winners to defeat Scott City tonight. For Goodland, they need a win and some help. There are some scenarios in which they win and don't get in, but a win would go a long way towards helping Goodland see postseason play for the first time since 2013. The coaching matchup tonight for the Colby Eagles, Reese McKinney is on the bench in his 5th year. He's 37-18 lifetime, 32-14 at Colby, 18-6 against GWAC opponents, 16-6 in district games, 11-11 all-time on the road, 4-0 against Goodland. Jordan Mosier's first-year head coach of the Goodland Cowboys, 7-17 lifetime, 1-6 in his first year at Goodland, 0-1 in GWAC games, 1-3 in the district. Goodland still looking for their first home win of the season. They have lost home games to Ray, Colorado, Scott City, and southeast of Saline. Colby in their home whites tonight with black numerals, black pants, the black helmets with the orange Power Eagle on both sides. Goodland in their road, black on black with gold numerals, black helmets with the gold and black G, a la the Green Bay Packers on the helmets. Tonight's captains for Colby, Zach Griffin, Ian Rosales, and Tyler Voss. For the Goodland Cowboys, it is Matt Nemechek, Dexter Dowdle, DJ Knox, and looks like the 4th captain is Gantzen Miller. 4 of the 7 seniors who were honored pregame tonight on senior night here at Cowboy Stadium. As the coin flip takes place, we can tell you it is currently 73 degrees in Goodland, not a hint of breeze. It is a beautiful night for football week number 8. Goodland has won the toss, and they have chosen to defer, so it will be Colby who starts on offense. So real quick, let's set the starters on defense for Goodland. At defensive end, Jackson Griffith and Dexter Dowdle. The defensive tackle is Josh Sudas. The nose guard, Witten Peter. The outside linebackers are Maverick Spresser and Rhett Ehrig. The middle linebacker, Kyan Ensign. The cornerbacks, Devontae Hardy and Manny Gonzalez. The strong safety is Mason Hernandez. The free safety, DJ Knox. Starting on offense for Colby from left to right on the offensive line, it's Ian Rosales, Nick Raymer, Zach Castigliano, Tyler Raymer, and Zach Griffin. Colin Carroll is the tight end. The wide receivers, Carson Van Eaton and Bryce Myers. Tyler Voss, the A-back, Zane Betts, the B-back, and at quarterback, making his 8th start, is the junior Hunter Vaughn. 7 straight wins for Colby over Goodland. If they win tonight, it would be their longest ever winning streak in the series against their rivals 30 miles to the west. It is the top of the 7 o'clock hour. You're listening to the Eagles on radio on 100.3 The Ride, KRDQ Colby. I am Dan Lucero. So glad you are along for the ride tonight. One more time for the 2021 regular season. Colby sends just one returner deep. It's Carson Van Eaton. Gantzen Miller handles the kickoffs for Goodland and doesn't typically kick off deep. In fact, he was handling some onside kicks in the pregame warm-ups, and he has the ball teed up as though he will kick onside here, angling to the near side. Colby is going to go right to left as you listen, or east to west down on the field at Cowboy Stadium in this first quarter. Miller, 3 yards behind the ball at a diagonal angle, ready to kick. The approach and the 101st meeting between Colby and Goodland is underway as Connor Lanning covers the onside kick expertly, 9 yards past the line at the Goodland 49-yard line. Good hands displayed by Connor Lanning with 11:59 showing on the clock. Colby will have 1st and 10 in Goodland territory. Hunter Vaughn, 74 of 126 passing for 861 yards, 10 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, threw 4 touchdowns and 194 yards on 9 of 13 passing last week in the 44-14 win over Scott City. Ball in the near left hash. Colby in the pistol with 2 receivers right, and Tyler Voss motions that direction. Vaughn throws left on first down. It's Bryce Myers who cuts inside and is tackled from behind by Josh Sudas at the 45-yard line. Sudas coming over from his defensive tackle spot to make that stop. Myers picks up 4 on the quick hit outside screen on first down. That is how Colby began last week's game as well, with an early screen pass to Bryce Myers. 2nd and 6 from the Goodland 45. Wing to the right, Zane Betts trips bunch to the short side left. Betts in motion across the face of the quarterback, and he takes a fake. Vaughn keeps up the middle. He is smothered by Sudas before he can reach the 40-yard line. Sudas did well to stay home on the play. Also in on that tackle with Jackson Griffith, the defensive end. And a pickup of 4 on that play to the 41-yard line. Call this a 3rd down and 2 for Colby on this opening drive. Pistol set, Tyler Voss the deep back, 2 receivers left now. Zane Betts motions to the right. Snap back to Vaughn, hand off to Tyler Voss. Voss right up the gut, has the first down across the 40. Pile is stacked up at about the 37-yard line. Before the play is blown dead, Tyler Voss running off of right guard, picks up the requisite yardage and moves the chains. Colby, who has struggled this year on 3rd down, just converting 34% of the time on 3rd downs, picks one up there as Voss gains 5 on 3rd down and 2. 1st and 10 for Colby from the Goodland 36. Ball between the hashes, 2 receivers to the right. Voss sidecar right of Vaughn in the shotgun. That's the receiver left, motions behind the quarterback. Snap back to Vaughn, it's an option to the right. Now Vaughn looking to throw downfield, throws and has a receiver inside the 20-yard line, just outside the right hash. That is Bryce Myers with the catch. A delayed RPO, and Vaughn, as he was being hit by Sudas, got it away for the first down. 17 yards to Bryce Myers, and that throw had some sizzle on it. First down, Colby. They are in the red zone in just 4 plays. 10:25 to play in this opening quarter. And on the first drive of the game, Colby is at the Goodland 19 with a fresh set of downs. Trips to the short side right, pistol set. Motion from the slot man Betts, who doubles back around the quarterback in orbit motion. The handoff goes to Tyler Voss off of left tackle, following Ian Rosales, being grabbed and pulled backwards by Dexter Dottle, the standout senior defensive end for the Cowboys. Not much there for Voss, a yard, maybe 2 or 3 on that first down. I will be frank with the audience. It is tough to tell on that end of the field, the west end of the field, given my broadcast angle, just exactly how far the runner has gained on a given play. I'm going to have to wait for the scoreboard operator. Call it 3 yards there for Voss. 2nd down and a short 7. Motion from right to left by Betts. Shotgun snap back to Vaughn. Sprinting left. Sets his feet. Throws outside. Has it intercepted. Pass is picked off by Matt Nemechek, and he is tackled from behind as he crosses the 20-yard line. The pass was intended for Bryce Myers right in front of the end zone outside to the left, and Nemechek jumped the route on a pass thrown behind the intended receiver and intercepts Hunter Vaughn for the 6th time this season. A big play by the senior Matt Nemechek at free safety to turn Colby over for the 10th time this season. And Colby's trip into the red zone ends with no points, and with 9:27 to play in the first quarter, Goodland starts their first possession at their own 25-yard line. It's Matt Nemechek as the tailback in the single wing with 2 receivers left. The ball in the near right hash as Goodland goes left to right. And before the snap, we have a whistle. Gentry Deeds had lined up at almost looked like under center. And the officials are conferring on something here as a flag is down on the far side. That is the side judge. And the officials wave off the flags. 2 receivers to the left side of the formation. Devontae Hardy split out to the left. The snap goes to the tailback, and that was Mason Hernandez, or rather that's the A-back, Mason Hernandez on that play, and Hernandez right into the middle of the Colby line for a 2-yard gain on first down. Goodland will take their time on offense. They want to shorten games and chew up a lot of clock. Very similar to Ulysses, who Colby saw back in week 3. 2nd and 8 from the Goodland 27. Pre-snap shift. Half the line moves from right to left, and now here comes a flag. And it was Colby who had someone into the neutral zone when the entire Goodland offense kind of packed up and moved their location. It spooked the Colby defense, and it cost them 5 yards here, first penalty of the game. So 2nd and 8 becomes 2nd down and 3 from the 32-yard line of Goodland. Two men in the backfield, heavy side right, and now there's that shift across to the left side. Snap goes to Matt Nemechek, getting the start at tailback tonight. He is smothered after a short gain. Ian Rosales with penetration from his defensive line spot on that play for Colby. Zach Griffin in on it as well. Gain of 1 for Nemechek. 3rd and 2 coming up on Goodland's first drive of the night after Nemechek intercepted Hunter Vaughn just in front of the goal line. Ball between the hashes at the Goodland 33. They move left to right. Heavy side of the line is the right side with the blocking back on that side. The snap goes to Nemechek. Inside trap handoff to Mason Hernandez. And Hernandez has a big play. Dropped the ball and has to fall on it at the 44-yard line outside the left hash. Otherwise, that could have been a massive gain for the junior Mason Hernandez. It is a first down up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 10 on the inside handoff, almost an end around to the wingback. Fresh set of downs for Goodland. 1st and 10 from their own 43. 7:25 and counting to play in a scoreless first quarter. Line shift from left to right, the strong side of the field. And now movement where there should not have been on the Goodland offense as the skill players in the backfield started forward, but the snap didn't come from the center, Witten Peter. A false start sets Goodland back 5. A lot of momentum for the home team. Senior night, they force a turnover on the opening drive. Coming off, of course, their first win of the season. A 16-14 come from behind victory over Russell on the road last Friday night. 1st and 15 from the 37, or 38, call it. Same play, end around handoff to Mason Hernandez, scooting through the left side of the line, hit by Carson Van Eaton and stood up back around the original line of scrimmage. So Hernandez regains the penalty yardage and then 2 more on top of that to the 45. A 7-yard run for Hernandez on first down. Offense for Goodland is shorthanded tonight. Their starting tailback Cole Linton injured last week. He will not play the rest of this season. The talented sophomore had thrown for over 600 yards and rushed for over 300. Ball on the far left hash for 2nd down and 8. Snap goes to Nemechek. He rolls right, looking down the field to throw. Lets it go. Corner route to the right, and it's dropped by Devontae Hardy at the Colby 40-yard line on the near sideline. There is a flag down, and it is in the area of holding on Goodland, and that is the call. Back in the backfield. So Colby will almost assuredly accept the penalty. Flag was thrown about 4 yards in the backfield, but the foul occurred at the line of scrimmage, so the ball moves back to the Goodland 35-yard line. 2nd and 18. 6:12 to play, first quarter, no score. Colby drove into the red zone, but turned the ball over on their first possession of the night. This drive started at the Goodland 25. They've run 4 plays, and there have been 3 penalties. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, blocking back to the left, snap back to Nemechek. Immediately flushed to his left, being chased by Rosales, throws into the flat left side, and it's knocked away, but a flag comes out. The intended receiver was Mason Hernandez. Hunter Vaughn knocked the ball away, but it looks like the line judge on that side thinks that Vaughn was there early. And the flag being signaled by the official is holding on Colby. Now, there are going to be times where I'm not entirely clear on the official signal because I am not on the side of the press box tonight here at Cowboy Stadium. The press box can only seat the home radio crew and the coaches and the scoreboard crew. So that is a 15-yard penalty. That's definitely PI. That's not defensive holding. Either way, it moves the ball ahead 15 yards and makes it now 2nd and 3 for Goodland from midfield. Ball is right at the center of the field for this play. Two receivers right, blocking back to the right. Hernandez and Nemechek in the backfield. The snap goes to Hernandez, sweeping to the right, hit in the backfield by Rosales, who won't let him go and drops him for a loss. Big play by the big-time player on the Colby defense, Ian Rosales, dropping Hernandez for a 4-yard loss and setting up 3rd down and 7. He just did hang on to Hernandez's right foot, and Hernandez tried to struggle free, but eventually lost the battle and went down just as the Colby defense was starting to arrive en masse. 3rd and a short 7. Ball in the near right hash. 2 receivers that side. 1 receiver left. Nemechek in the gun with an up back to the right. Motion from the receiver left. Fake to him. Nemechek rolling to the left side and hit the backfield and sacked by Colin Carroll. Colin Carroll with the sack back at the 40-yard line. A loss of 6, and that brings up 4th down. Colin Carroll with his first sack of the season. The Colby defense with their 6th sack of the year. And Colby unable to take advantage of Goodland unable to take advantage of the Colby turnover. They are set to punt it away. Mason Hernandez does the punting. Isaiah Rosales deep to return. Low snap, and it gets away from Hernandez. Hernandez is pressured in the backfield, sweeping to the right. Now cuts inside, breaks 1 tackle, but Zach Griffin's got him, and now he's muscled down about 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage by Tyler Raymer. And Colby will have outstanding field position for their 2nd drive of the night with 4:47 to play in the first quarter and no score. That ball will be spotted at the 37, so it ends up a loss of 3 for Hernandez, and really a heroic effort to get that far. Outstanding field position for Colby, starting on the Goodland side of the field. On 1st and 10, pistol snap back to Vaughn. Inside handoff going the other way, Zane Betts. And Betts is ankle tackled as he crosses the 35-yard line down to about the 33. First carry of the night for Betts. And he picks up 4. 2nd down and 6 coming up. 2 receivers go to the right. Zane Betts in the slot next to Bryce Myers. 1 receiver left is Carson Van Eaton. Tight end to the right, Colin Carroll. Shotgun snap to Vaughn. Sprint left, throwing into the flat, and has a catch. Carson Van Eaton turning the corner, has a 1st down. Quick hitter by Hunter Vaughn, finding Carson Van Eaton in stride, his 9th reception of the year. And Colby appears to be in the red zone to the 19-yard line. 14 yards on the catch and run for Carson Van Eaton. Colby quick to the line. Ball on the left hash. 1st and 10 from the 19. Snap to Vaughn. Handoff Tyler Voss. Sweeping to the left side. Tucking inside the blocks at the hash. And down close to the 15-yard line. Tackle on the play by the freshman outside linebacker, Rhett Ehrig. A good pickup for Voss on 1st down. He got inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Pickup of 5. 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. Pistol snap, high snap to Vaughn. Play action, rolling right, pressure in his face. Eluding Dawdle, still on the move is Vaughn. Zipping it to the outside right and throwing it away, incomplete. Colin Carroll in the area, but he was bracketed by 2 defenders, and that was an example of Hunter Vaughn using his legs to extend a play and then living to fight another day. 3rd and 5 coming up for Colby. 3:35 to play in the first quarter, no score. Eagles with a 3rd and 5 at the Goodland 14-yard line. Their first 2 drives have both gotten into the red zone. Colby surely in 4-down territory if they don't pick up the requisite 5 yards here. Long look towards the sideline for the play. 2 receivers to the right of the formation. Tight end and a receiver left. Voss to Vaughn's right in the gun. Motion from the left, Bryce Myers. Snap to Vaughn, play action. Pressure up the middle, tunnel screen. Caught by St. Betts and dropped. Betts had room to scoot, though Ehrig and Sudas were in the vicinity. And Betts may have just taken his eye off the ball for a split second, and he could not haul it in, bringing up a 4th down and 5. Colby ran that tunnel screen to really good effect. Last week, Zane Betts had a big gain on that play last week, but that time the catch portion of the equation wasn't there. Ball on the left hash, 2 receivers to that short side, tight end and a receiver right, running back to the left of Hunter Vaughn on this 4th down and 5. Vaughn signals the play, and before the snap, a timeout called by Colby. We'll take it 2 with 3:30 to play in the first quarter. No score. You're listening to Colby Eagle Football. The Eagles on radio, 100.3 The Ride. Big play early in this one. 4th and 5 for Colby from the Goodland 14 with 3:30 to play in a scoreless first quarter. Motion from left to right as Hunter Vaughn sprints right now. Throw back to the left, over the top, knocked away in the middle of the end zone, and incomplete. Once again, it was Matt Nemechek making the play in the Goodland secondary. He had an interception earlier. This time he knocks the pass away from Tyler Voss. It was a throwback seam route, and the ball never got to the intended receiver. So Colby, after facing a 2nd and 5, throws 3 straight incompletions, and that's 2 empty trips to the red zone for the Eagles to start the night. Goodland takes over at their own 14 with 3:26 to play in the first quarter. And if we end up with a first quarter stalemate here, that shouldn't be a surprise. Colby has scored just 13 first quarter points all year. Goodland hasn't scored in the first quarter all season. Goodland with the pre-snap reset of the offense. Heavy side is the short side right. And we have a whistle, and delay of game is going to be called on Goodland. The umpire throwing the flag. And it has been a bit of a flag fest so far. That is the 3rd penalty on Goodland. Colby has been called for a pair in this first quarter. 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 15 from the 9. Matt Nemechek in the backfield. Wing right is the dangerous Hernandez. And he gets it on that end around and has nowhere to go. Colby wise to it this time, and it's Ian Rosales who smothers Hernandez for a minimal gain. Wonder if they give him anything. Looks like a yard. Already the 6th carry of the night for Mason Hernandez. 2nd and 14 for Goodland from the 10 as we go under 3 minutes to play in a scoreless first quarter. Receiver to the right. 2 receivers to the left side. Nemechek, the tailback, takes the snap. 3-step drop. Throwing outside to the left, tip and intercepted. Picked up by Hunter Vaughn. Returning down the right sideline, trying to shake an ankle tackle. He's down at the 12-yard line. Tyler Voss deflected the pass, and Hunter Vaughn, Johnny on the spot for his 4th interception of the season. And Colby is in business once again, taking over for their 3rd drive of the night in the red zone with 2:32 to play in the first quarter. Looks like possession at the Goodland 11. Hunter Vaughn is in the pistol. Double wing look here with the ball on the right hash. Motion from the wing right. Cyrus Johnson is a lead back. The handoff goes to Tyler Voss, trying to squeeze through the line, but Josh Sudas closes that up in a hurry with some help from Kyan Ensign, the middle linebacker. Pickup of a yard for Voss on first down. Colby did score a first quarter touchdown last week on their opening drive against Scott City. It was the first time Colby had scored in the first frame since the first drive of the season against Hugoton back in week 1. Again, double wing pistol on second down. The handoff goes to Tyler Voss. Counter right. He has no chance. Goodland with great penetration. That time it's Ehrig and then Sudas again, who is absolutely dominating this game so far for the Goodland defense. And they stuff Voss for a loss of a yard. 3rd and 10 coming up. Minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Colby with the outstanding field position after the Hunter Vaughn interception. So now both quarterbacks have intercepted their opposite number on defense tonight. 2 receivers short side right, 1 receiver left. Shotgun snap back to Vaughn, sprint left. Vaughn, fade a route, left corner of the end zone. It is overthrown, incomplete. Intended receiver was Carson Van Eaton, and Vaughn had a little too much air under it, and Van Eaton couldn't get to it. 4th and 10 from the Goodland 11. And Colby leaving the offense on the field. Can get a first down without scoring. But surely Colby would love to avoid a 3rd straight empty red zone possession. Empty backfield. Motion from the left, Zane Betts. Fake to him. Vaughn drops back 7. Now stepping up in the pocket. Throwing outside of the right. Nobody home. Incomplete. Carson Van Eaton was in the area, but the pass was well over his head and behind him, and the Goodland defense has stood up to be counted in this first quarter, denying Colby now 3 times in the red zone. And with a minute 2 to play here in quarter number 1, Goodland will start with the ball at their own 11-yard line. So it's almost as if that change of possession never happened. Colby failed to gain a yard on 4 plays. Back come the Cowboys on offense. Snap goes to, boy, I'd love to tell you, but I just can't. Looks like it's Gentry Deeds. Or no, Bryson Waters, excuse me, number 21. First carry of the night for Waters, and maybe a yard, half a yard if anything. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Cowboys. Again, it's Nemechek in the backfield. Receiver Devontae Hardy to the right. Snap to Nemechek. Fakes the end around, rolling to the right, throwing back across the middle and into traffic. It's caught by Bryson Waters across the 25 up to the 26-yard line. He and Maverick Spresser were both in the area, and it was Waters who came down with it for a 16-yard gain and a first down for Goodland. First completed pass of the night for the Cowboys. And that may be the final play of the opening quarter. Goodland's in no rush to snap the ball again, and 1 quarter is in the books with no points on the scoreboard despite 3 red zone opportunities for Colby, The Goodland defense has stood strong, and after one, it's Colby and Goodland scoreless in the 101st all-time meeting between the Eagles and the Cowboys. We're back in a minute. You're listening to the Eagles on radio, 100.3 The Ride. Dan Lucero back with you for quarter number 2 from Cowboy Stadium in Goodland. Colby and Goodland are scoreless after one. The Cowboys have just moved the sticks with their longest offensive play of the night, a 16-yard pass from Matt Nemechek to Bryson Waters. They have a 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line, now moving right to left as you listen. 2 in the backfield, heavy set of the line to the left, and now that switches over to the right. The snap to Nemechek. It's a tailback sweep. Nemechek grabbed in the backfield, thrown down. Did the ball come out? Carson Van Eaton has the ball. And Colby has recovered the fumble at the 25-yard line. Carson Van Eaton recovers the fumble of Matt Nemechek. And Colby has forced a second turnover tonight. Eagle ball at the Goodland 25-yard line. The 5th time that Colby has recovered a fumble this year. It was Carson Van Eaton who came out of the pile with it with 11:54 to play in the first half. Once again, a golden scoring opportunity for the Colby Eagles. 3 receivers go to the right, ball on the far left hash. Motion from Bryce Myers from right to left, and now back to the slot right. Vaughn, 5-step drop, throwing a deep slant over the middle, and it's short of the intended target at the 10-yard line. That was Colin Carroll, the intended receiver, but Vaughn couldn't find him. Hunter Vaughn hit on his first 2 passes, then was intercepted by Matt Nemechek near the goal line on Colby's opening drive, and since then is just 1 for 6. All told, 3 of 9 passing for Vaughn for 35 yards. Receiver right is Bryce Myers. Wing right is Zane Betts. Receiver left is Carson Van Eaton. Pistol set on second down. Snap to Vaughn. Hand off Tyler Voss. Voss with a hole up or down to about the 20, and then the pile falls forward to about the 19-yard line. Maybe the 18. Good second down run for Tyler Voss, setting up a 3rd down and short. Call it a 7-yard gain. 3rd and 3 for Colby. No score early second quarter. Colby in the red zone for the 4th time in as many drives. Same formation. Vaughn takes a snap, give to Voss going right, and Voss squeezes his way through, dragging a tackler still on his feet, inside the 10, fighting his way down inside the 5-yard line. What a tough run by Tyler Voss. And Colby has a 1st and goal. Voss just would not go down, and he took Witten Peter, the nose guard, for a ride on that play. He took Peter on his back for about 4 yards before Peter was shrugged off. A 15-yard run sets up 1st and goal from the 3. Colby in the pistol. Snap to Vaughn. Give to Voss. Off of right tackle. The pile moving forward, and Voss falls across the goal line. Touchdown, Colby. Tyler Voss into the end zone with his 8th rushing touchdown of the year. And Colby finally makes a scoring opportunity count. They take a 6-0 lead with 10:52 to play in the first half. Colby leaving the offense on the field that has been the custom. They have not kicked an extra point since the end of the Smoky Valley game. Obviously, they didn't score against Southeast of Saline, but went for 2 after every score against Russell and Scott City. Colby in the pistol for the 2-point conversion. Tight end left, 2 receivers right. Snap to Vaughn, handoff Voss, up the middle, following Zach Griffin, struggling forward, leaning towards the line, didn't get it. Colby was certain that Voss had breached the line, but he did not, and Colby is held on the 2-pointer. But it's the Eagles 6 and Goodland nothing with 10:52 to play in the first half. You're listening to the Eagles on radio, 100.3 The Ride. Carson Van Eaton's fumble recovery turns into points for the Colby Eagles, and they dent the scoreboard first with 10:52 to play in the first half here at Cowboy Stadium in Goodland. Tyler Voss's 3-yard run, his 8th rushing touchdown and 12th total touchdown of the year, give the Colby Eagles a 6-0 lead as they seek back-to-back wins for the first time this season and an 8th straight win over Goodland, which would be a series record for the Eagles. Ian Rosales has the ball teed up midfield at the 40. Deep to return for Goodland. Manny Gonzalez and Mason Hernandez. The kick team spreads out and is ready. Here comes Ian. High end over end and short. Takes a big hop. Devontae Hardy leaps to catch at the 25, and he's immediately brought down. Breon Barton and Cyrus Johnson combine for the tackle. And Goodland will take over, it appears, at their own 26. Every drive tonight has started in Goodland territory. That's 4 Goodland drives and 4 Colby drives. 10:50 to go in this first half. Ball on the left hash as Goodland moves right to left. Bryson Waters and Matt Nemechek in the backfield, heavy side right. Snap to Waters, cutting back right to left, right to the arms, and the ball came out again. Colby's got it. It's Tyler Voss returning it inside the 15-yard line. The ball popped out of Bryson Waters' hands, and Tyler Voss returns it into the red zone. Bryson Waters was hit at the line of scrimmage, and it went right to Tyler Voss, who took off running. And with 10:42 to play in the first half, Colby has a 1st and 10 from the Goodland 14 and a chance to add to their 6-0 lead. Already 3 turnovers forced by the Colby defense. They've now forced 17 total on the year. Pistol set on first down with the ball on the right hash. Play action, Vaughn rolling to the left side, throwing deep left side, got a man wide open, Zane Betts, and he walks in, touchdown, Colby! Zane Betts releasing from his wingback position on the wheel route, and no one covered him. Hunter Vaughn puts it on Zane Betts for a 14-yard touchdown. And Colby doubles their money, 12-0, with 10:36 to play in the first half. For Hunter Vaughn, his 11th passing touchdown of the year. Zane Betts has caught a touchdown pass in 2 consecutive games and has 3 touchdown receptions, 6 total touchdowns on the year. Colby now with a full house backfield. Tyler Voss in the gun, taking the snap, faking a handoff, sweeping right, following blocks, stretching for the line, and once again he's short. So the Goodland defense holds on another 2-point run, but Colby again taking advantage of a fumble recovery deep in Cowboy territory, and they lead Goodland 12-0 with 10:36 to play in the first half. You're listening to the Eagles on radio, 100.3 The Ride. Colby was held out of the end zone on their first 3 red zone trips tonight, but they have cashed in their last 2. A one-play scoring drive after Tyler Voss's fumble recovery. Hunter Vaughn hitting Zane Betts for a 14-yard touchdown. The 2-point conversion was missed, but it's a Colby lead of 12-0 over Goodland in the 101st meeting between these two Northwest Kansas rivals. Ian Rosales' kick high and over end short. Taken by one of the up men, far side at the 20. Cutting the ball back inside is the ball carrier Mason Burles, and Burles is stacked up by a host of Colby defenders just shy of the 30-yard line. Call it the 30, and this will be Goodland's best starting field position of the night. Their own 30-yard line with 10:31 to play in the first half. Goodland fell behind by 2 touchdowns last week. It didn't faze them. They held Russell out the rest of the way and came back for a 16-14 victory, their first of the season. They'll try and do it again here at home on their senior night. 3 receivers, 2 to the right, ball on the far right hash on 1st and 10. Snap to Matt Nemechek, bubble screen right side, caught by Devontae Hardy, who cuts inside, makes one man miss, runs through another ankle tackle, and dives ahead to the 35-yard line just outside the right hash. Bryce Myers there on the stop for the Eagles. Big Devontae Hardy, looks to be about 6'3", 6'4". Came into tonight with 12 receptions on the season, and he picks up 5 on that first down catch. Second and a short 5 for Goodland. 2 receivers to the left, including Hardy and Mason Hernandez in the slot. Nemechek in a gun, with the back to his right. 3-step drop, Nemechek zings it outside to the left and has it knocked away, incomplete. Connor Lanning hustling to the spot, never got his head around to the ball, but the ball hit him and he never hit Hardy. So nothing untoward there. Hardy frustrated, the pass was late in getting there, and Connor Lanning got to the spot for the pass broken up, even if he never saw it happen. 3rd and 5 coming up. 12-0 Colby, 9:45 to play in the first half. Receiver right is Maverick Spresser. 2 receivers left, Hernandez in the slot next to Hardy. Running back Waters to the right of Nemechek. Nemechek takes a chest-high snap, clean pocket, throws outside to the left. It's a jump ball through the hands of Hardy, incomplete. That was a 6-yard jump ball near side left at the 41-yard line. Hardy is much taller than Lanning and had the advantage, but couldn't bring it in. It banged off of the heels of his hands and fell to the turf. And on 4th down, the punt unit is out for Goodland. Last time Goodland tried to punt, it ended in disaster. A low snap from Maverick Spresser never got home, and Mason Hernandez tried to run it and lost 3 yards. Hernandez on to punt, no one deep for Colby. Snap to Hernandez, he sprints to the right and gets the punt away. It's a good one. High wobbler that gets a tremendous Goodland bounce. inside the 25, down right at the 20-yard line. A 45-yard punt by Mason Hernandez. And for the first time tonight, Colby will start a drive on their own end. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Colby 20 with 9:28 to play in the first half, and Colby leading Goodland 12-0. Score of interest in 3A District 6, southeast of Saline up on Scott City 14-0 after 1. Southeast of Saline already district champs. Also Smoky Valley leading Russell 6-0 in the second quarter. First down handoff for Colby to Tyler Voss, and Voss puts the head down between the center and the guard and surges ahead for about 4 or 5 before the pile wins the battle of leverage. Call it just 3, in fact. Voss up to 41 yards on 9 carries with a touchdown. A 3-yard plunge that opened the scoring earlier in this quarter. 2nd and 7 for Colby from their own 23. Ball between the hashes, Colby going left to right. Zane Betts, the receiver, left motions behind the quarterback and takes a jet pitch. Betts looking to get to the edge, cuts inside a block, and is tripped up from behind as he reaches across the 30-yard line and appears to have the first down. And it is signaled officially first down on the 7-yard run by Zane Betts. Good block on the perimeter there by Bryce Myers. And Betts able to cut inside that and gain the yardage he needed. 1st and 10 for Colby from their own 30. Ball on the right hash. Running back to the right of Vaughn in the gun. 2 receivers short side. Betts motions left to right as a wing, and he's a lead blocker for Tyler Voss off of right tackle. Spinning off of one tackle and then shoved forward and down by DJ Knox. Maverick Spresser also helping out on that tackle. A pickup of 3, maybe 4. Call it 4 for Voss on first down. And Colby will take that. They don't need huge chunks from Tyler Voss. Voss gained 125 yards on 23 carries last week, but didn't have a rush longer than 11 yards. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver tight to the right. Snap to Hunter Vaughn. 3-step drop, looking left, pumps and throws deep down the left sideline, looking for Zane Betts and overthrows him at the Goodland 45. Betts had some separation from the defenders Nemechek and Hernandez, the deep safeties. But Vaughn sailed the throw, and it brings up a 3rd down and 6. Mention those scores. Southeast of Saline and Smoky Valley are leading. So if all scores hold, Colby is at home for round 1 of the playoffs next week. We'll go through all of that when we know, but that's your live standings, if you will. 3rd and 6 for Colby from their own 34. Jet pitch going left at Zane Betts, the wide side of the field, trying to run through an ankle tackle. A flag comes down behind the play from the umpire as Betts goes down a yard or 2 short. Looked like DJ Knox ran him down. The umpire threw a flag, and it landed at the 45-yard line, so ahead of the play. Be interesting to see what this is. Colby's a yard short of the first down as it stands. It's a face mask on Goodland. So tack on 15 more to that 5-yard run by Betts, and that gives Colby a first down. The ball will move where Colby has lived offensively in this first half, onto the Goodland side of the field. They lead 12-0 with 7:43 to play in the first half. Two receivers to the short side left, 1 receiver right. Voss the deep back in the pistol. Motion from the receiver right, Bryce Myers. Fake to him and a give to Voss. Voss is hit in the backfield, trying to drag the tackler forward, but unable to make it back to the, or just barely able, I should say, to make it back to the original line of scrimmage, the Goodland 46. That was Jackson Griffith with the penetration. No gain for Voss on first down. The Goodland front 4, Dottle and Griffith on the edges, Sudas and Peter up front, have really done their part to control the line of scrimmage. They're playing on the Colby side of the line of scrimmage on a lot of plays so far tonight. Wing right, receivers either side, pistol set on 2nd and 10. Hunter Vaughn, play action, roll to the right, and sailing it deep down the right sideline. He's got Zane Betts behind the defense. Betts makes the catch at the 15, and he's gone! Touchdown, Colby! Zane Betts running away from the defense like Tyreek Hill, and Hunter Vaughn hit him in stride. A 46-yard touchdown pass to make it 18-0 Colby with 6:38 to play in the first half. They faked a flare screen to Bryce Myers on that side. That held the defense long enough for Betts to go racing past. Vaughn put plenty of air on it. Betts made the over-the-shoulder catch in stride at the 15 and took it to the house for his second receiving touchdown of the night. And now Colby to go for 2. They are 0 for 2 tonight. Snap to Hunter Vaughn, pitch right, Zane Betts. Betts trying to cut inside, but there's no alley. And making the tackle is Kyan Enzyme for a loss. And once again, Colby comes up empty on the 2-pointer. But Colby leads 18-0 over Goodland with 6:38 to play in this first half. You're listening to the Eagles on radio, 100.3 The Ride. Hunter Vaughn dropping dimes, 46 yards to Zane Betts, the second time those two have connected through the air for a touchdown in this second quarter. And after a stuttering start, Colby has found their offensive footing. They go 80 yards in 7 plays and now have an 18-0 lead over the Goodland Cowboys with 6:38 to play in the first half here in this regular season finale. This is much more in line with what this series has been over the last 7 years, where Colby has outscored Goodland by an average score of 53-13. But there is still a lot of game left. As Ian Rosales gets the kick away, this is a deep one, end over end, taken by Gonzalez at the 13, sweeping to the right at the 25, cuts back inside, lost the ball, and Colby looks like they're on it. Oh, they are not. It's Manny Gonzalez who was able to rip it away from Shane Puckett, it looks like. And Gonzalez preserves the possession for Goodland with 6:30 to play here in the first half. Goodland will start with the ball at their own 25 column after a 15-yard return by Manny Gonzalez. Ball on the far right hash, an empty backfield, 5 wide, 3 right, 2 left on first down. Motion from the slot. That's Gonzalez. Fake handoff to him. Now it's Nemechek running. Breaks through the first line of defense. And Breon Barton meets him in the middle of the field and drives him to the turf. But a good gain for Nemechek up to the 33-yard line on first down. Colby bit on the fake to Mason Hernandez. And Nemechek able to run for 8 yards. 2nd down and 2. Quick to the line of the Cowboys. Same formation. Now motion from the slot right. That is Gonzalez, and Gonzalez takes the handoff, and he is thrown down in the backfield. Nick Raymer was there first. He slowed him, and Colin Carroll cleaned up. Tackle for a loss back to the 32. A loss of a yard, bringing up a 3rd down and 3. Again, it's an empty backfield shotgun. Snap high to Nemechek, short drop, short throw outside left, caught by Hernandez, but he is nowhere near the first down, driven backward by Carson Van Eaton, and Colin Carroll there to finish the play as well. Carson Van Eaton all over that quick out to Mason Hernandez, and the play loses a yard, bringing up 4th down and 4. A 3 and out, just what the doctor ordered for the Colby defense. After scoring their 3rd touchdown in as many drives here in this second quarter. They lead 18-0 and are set to get the ball back. It's 4th and 4 from the Goodland 31. Mason Hernandez is back to punt. No one deep to return for Colby. They respect Hernandez's speed and ability to make plays. And now Bryce Myers will head back. High snap. Gonzalez sprinting to the right. Just does get the punt away. It's a high and short punt, but it does get a Goodland bounce into Colby territory across midfield. It's covered at the 47. Breon Barton and Ian Rosales came in with bad intentions on that punt. And Barton almost got there, collided with a blocker and with Rosales, and that collision bumped into the punter, but no running into or roughing the punter whistled, and Colby with an 18-0 lead and 4:47 to play in the first half starts this drive at their own 47. Hunter Vaughn in the pistol with Tyler Voss the deep back. 2 receivers to the wide side right. Motion from the slot man Betts across the face of the quarterback. Snap to Vaughn, give to Voss. Following his left tackle, bouncing it to the edge and tripped up before he can turn a corner. There's Dexter Dottle, the standout senior defensive end. I think I've referred to him as that before, but it bears repeating just how good a player Dexter Dottle is. Sometimes great players on teams that struggle to win games get lost in the shuffle, but there's no losing Dottle and Sudas, who would be standouts on any team they played for. 2nd and 9 for Colby from the 48. Ball on the far left hash. Again, Betts motions right to left. Snap back to Vaughn. Option to the right, late pitch to Voss. Voss cuts inside at midfield, and the linebacker Ehrig jumps on Voss's back. Voss falls forward across the 50, down to the Goodland 48, maybe the 47. 3rd down coming up for Colby after a 4-yard gain, and we have an official's timeout. Looks like Tyler Voss has to tuck his shirt back in, or a shoulder pad came unbuckled there. Either way, he's ready for action. Voss up to 50 yards on 13 carries. As we approach 3.5 minutes to play in the first half, Colby with a 3rd and a short 5 from the Goodland 48. 2 receivers left. Betts motions as a wing to the left side. Play action. Vaughn with a quick flip to Betts. Sprinting outside to the left and tumbles through a tackle down to the 41-yard line, and he has a first down. Pickup of 7 for Zane Betts on the quick flat pass, as he was able to outmuscle Mason Hernandez and run for that first down before he was tripped up. That sends Hunter Vaughn over the century mark. He's got 102 passing yards. Betts has 3 of those catches for 67 yards and a pair of touchdowns. 1st and 10, Colby from the Goodland 41, leading 18-0 and on the move again. 3 receivers right, 1 left, and that receiver Betts comes in motion, takes a jet sweep handoff. Betts trying to cut inside as a flag comes in. They think they're going to get Bryce Myers for holding here, but good pursuit down the line by Ehrig and Ensign for the Goodland defense. No gain on the run. We'll wait and see on the flag. It is holding on Colby. That will back the Eagles up 10 to their own 49-yard line. Turns 1st and 10 into 1st and 20. 2:46 to play in this first half. Colby has scored on 3 straight drives after a scoreless first quarter, and they have forced 3 turnovers, scoring off of 2 of them. On their way to this 18-0 advantage. 3 receivers right. Lone receiver left is Van Eaton. Empty backfield. Vaughn takes a snap, 7-step drop, pressure from the backside. He rolls to his right, keeping his eyes down the field. Vaughn throws it back over the middle of the field, underthrown, intercepted. That is picked up by Mason Hernandez. Tyler Voss makes the tackle at the Goodland 38. And that was not optimal decision-making by Hunter Vaughn. The across-the-body throw over the middle, unless your last name is Mahomes, that's probably not a throw you want to make. And it hung up in the air for Mason Hernandez to come and intercept, and that is the second time that Vaughn has been intercepted, the second time that Goodland has forced a turnover. With 2:11 left in the first half, Goodland has the ball at their own 37-yard line. Single wing, heavy side right on first down. Quick snap to Nemechek. Pumps, rolls right. Now looking to run, shrugs off a tackle, throws, and has a man wide open down the right sideline. It is Hardy into Colby territory. He's got a first down out of bounds on the far sideline at the Eagle 47. Call it the 48, actually. 15 yards, and a tremendous job by Matt Nemechek to keep that play alive. He nearly crossed the line of scrimmage, but was able to keep himself behind the line of scrimmage and give him an opportunity to throw. And Devontae Hardy has his second catch, a 15-yarder. First and 10 for Goodland there in Colby territory for the first time. Two receivers to the right, ball on the far right hash. Snap to Nemechek, three-step drop. Rolls to his right, now steps up in the pocket as it collapses, and he's going down. Tyler Raymer is there along with Colin Carroll. And Goodland calls time with 1:53 to play in the first half, the first of their 3 allotted timeouts. We will keep it here after that play lost 4 yards back to the 48-yard line. The second time tonight that Matt Nemechek has been sacked. And it was Carroll for a second time, splitting that sack with Tyler Raymer. So Carroll with a sack and a half tonight. Colby 18, Goodland nothing with 1:53 to play in this first half. We'll get you updated on other pertinent scores tonight on the Cornerstone Ag halftime show. Again, last update we had was southeast of Saline and Smoky Valley were both winning. And if all of those scores hold and this score holds, Colby would earn the number 2 seed in 3A District 6, and they'd be back at Denon Field for a playoff game against the loser between Concordia and Chapman. Those two playing tonight in 3A District 5. We will do our best to find all of those scores for you tonight and bring them to you not just on the halftime show but also on the postgame. Second and 14 for Goodland after the sack from their own 48-yard line. Nemechek alone in the backfield with an up back to the right. Motion from the left, that's Waters. He takes a handoff and pitches. It's a reverse to Mason Hernandez. A flag flies as Hernandez cuts inside at the 45 and is tripped up from behind at about the 42-yard line, just outside the left hash, Rosales and Raymer. But there are 2 flags back at the line of scrimmage, and that would suggest the holding flag that the Colby fans were calling for as soon as the yellow laundry took flight. And that's exactly what it is. So what would have been about a 10-yard run on the reverse to Mason Hernandez instead turns into 10 yards in the wrong direction. And it's second down and 24 for Goodland. 1:45 to play in the half. Goodland does have 2 timeouts remaining. Matt Nemechek so far, again, getting the start at the tailback spot in the single wing in place of the injured Cole Linton. His first start of the season, the senior, is 4 of 7 through the air for 35 yards and has been intercepted once. Single wing, heavy side right, 2 receivers left. Motion from the slot man, Hernandez, all the way to the right. Snap to Nemechek, sprint right, throwing deep to the flat and sails it well over the head of Hernandez out of bounds in midfield. Third and 24 coming up as the Colby defense tries to pitch a first half shutout. They have not done that since the season opener against Hugoton, where they did not give up their first points until the fourth quarter. Empty backfield for Nemechek and the Cowboys on 3rd and 24 from the 38. 3 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. 4-man rush for Colby. Nemechek with time. Now pressured. A flag is down. Nemechek rolling to the right. Throws on the move to the far sideline, and it is underthrown and incomplete at the 40-yard line. The intended receiver was Manny Gonzalez. The flag down in the backfield is holding as Colby won all 4 of their man-to-man matchups on the pass rush. Colby chooses to decline the penalty and bring up a 4th and 24. Gives Colby the chance to get the ball back. 1:35 here in the first half. They lead 18-0 and have 2 timeouts remaining. Isaiah Rosales going back to field the punt. Manny Gonzalez is, Mason Hernandez has gotten off a couple of good ones tonight. Have an official's timeout. Hernandez has an untied shoe that he is attending to. Top of the hour, you're listening to the Eagles on radio, 100.3 The Ride, KRDQ Colby. Dan Lucero with you on a pleasant fall evening in Goodland at Cowboy Stadium. Braving the elements tonight. Posted up outdoors amongst the rabble with the Colby fans on the visiting side at Cowboy Stadium. Hernandez ready to punt. The long snapper is Maverick Spresser. Isaiah Rosales all the way back at his own 20. Good snap. Sprint to the right, and Hernandez just does get it away. A line drive. The punt so well covered as there were 3 Goodland players down the field that Rosales just lets it die. It's covered at about the 23-yard line. That would make it a 39-yard punt if that spot is accurate. And it is. So that's where Colby will start, their own 23, with 1:24 and 2 timeouts in this second quarter. Colby with an 18-0 lead, despite the fact they have turned the ball over twice and started this game 0 for 3 in the red zone. It could be a lot more lopsided than what it currently shows on the scoreboard. Eagles out in a 4-wide set, 2-by-2. Ball on the far left hash. Running back to the right of Vaughn in the gun. Motion from Zane Betts, the slot man left to right. Snap to Vaughn. It's a quarterback keeper. Vaughn has some room up the middle, then runs smack into a defender, and here comes a flag. Or it's a fumble, and it's recovered by Goodland. Colby turns it over for a 3rd time tonight. A big stick on that play by Gentry Deeds, and the ball came out, and Goodland recovers at the 25-yard line. So Goodland now with a chance to score late to get back in this game. 1:19 to play in the first half. Goodland has 2 timeouts, and they have the ball at the Colby 25. 2 receivers right. Slot man Hernandez motions across the formation. Nemechek to throw outside of the right. Quick hitter caught with a knee on the ground by the tight end Spresser. Inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. First catch of the night for Maverick Spresser, the junior tight end, and it picks up 6 as the clock goes inside a minute. In the first half, Colby defense trying to hold out. 2 receivers in an up back left, empty backfield. Nemechek short drop, flag flies, and a false start blows the play dead. A lot of self-inflicted mistakes by Goodland tonight. 2nd and 4 becomes 2nd and 9. That stops the clock with 49 seconds to play in the first half. Colby with an 18-0 lead, and now Goodland will take the second of their 3 allotted timeouts to prevent the 10-second runoff that would have come with the offensive penalty inside a minute. So the Cowboys now down to 1 timeout. Some scores from GWAC action to tell you about. Holcomb leading Hugoton 33-14. Told that there have been 8 combined turnovers in the first half. But we're only 2 shy of that, and Hey, there's still 49 seconds left. I guess you never know. Both Colby and Goodland have turned it over 3 times. Also, halftime score, Southeast of Saline 30, Scott City nothing. For Goodland to make the playoffs, they needed a win and probably needed a Scott City win. But it looks like the Beavers are going to be yet another speed bump in the road of the unbeaten Southeast of Saline Trojans, who I think are finally starting to get some of the regard and recognition that their play all year has deserved. Cheney leads Larned 27-13. The reason that's of interest is because if Cheney beats Larned, Hugoton makes the playoffs regardless of what happens in their game tonight. Back to action at 2nd and 4. Shotgun snap to Nemechek. Flush to his right. Throws on the run. Jump ball on the sideline at the 10. It is caught and a flag is down. Caught by Mason Hernandez. And there is a flag on the play. Hunter Vaughn was in coverage. So for now, it is a first down. And it's a horse collar tackle called on Colby. So it looks like Vaughn had his hand inside the shoulder pads. And so half the distance to the goal, spots the ball at the 4. So that play gained 16 yards on the pass to Hernandez. And now it's 1st and goal from the 4 for Goodland. Heavy set left. Nemechek looks right, rolls left, throwing outside to the left. Leaping catch by Hernandez inside the pylon for a touchdown. That is a super leaping catch. Mason Hernandez going over the top of Connor Lanning and hauling it in for the score. And Goodland is on the board with 36 seconds to play in the first half. They cut the Colby lead to 18-6. So the fumble by Vaughn turns into Goodland points. And the offense remains on the field for the Cowboys for a 2-point conversion try. Nemechek and Waters in the backfield. Snap to Nemechek following his block to the right. Colby stacks him up and takes the ball away. But in high school, those plays are blown dead. There is no pick 2 or scoring points the other way. Connor Lanning with the strip. But all it means is that the extra point or the 2-point conversion, I'll get the words out in English eventually. The 2-point conversion is no good. And Colby's lead over Goodland is 18-6 with 36 seconds to play here in the first half. Neither team has picked up a 2-pointer. So that fumble by Colby proves costly. And though Goodland had not scored a first quarter point all season, they had scored 27 second quarter points this year, and they can add another to the tally after a 3-play, 25-yard drive. Mason Hernandez with his 5th receiving touchdown of the year, and for Matt Nemechek, his 2nd passing touchdown of the season. He is the backup at the quarterback/tailback spot to Cole Linton, but he has played a calm and composed game for the most part tonight. Has fumbled and thrown an interception, but his counterpart has thrown 2 picks and fumbled once. So at some point, you kind of credit the defenses on both sides with coming up with some big plays. And not only does Goodland score late, they're going to try an onside kick, and then they're going to get the ball, receive the second half kickoff because they won the toss and deferred. Ball is teed up for Ganson Miller, left side at the 40, and this is more conventionally teed up. He may kick this one deep after all. got his right hand in the air, the straight on approach, and it's a short end over end kick. Fair caught by Nick Raymer. The officials saw it late, but now blow the play dead at the Colby 42 with 34 seconds left in the half. Colby still has 2 timeouts left. If they wanted to try and hit on a big play, they could certainly take that chance, but the last 2 Colby snaps have ended in turnovers. A Mason Hernandez interception of Hunter Vaughn, and then Vaughn fumbling inside the 25-yard line. That set up the Goodland touchdown drive. Ball on the near right hash on 1st and 10 from the, call it the 41. Wing to the left. Voss motions out of the backfield to the left and takes a pitch going that direction. Voss looking for the corner. A flag is down, and Voss is down as well at the 45-yard line. Flag is in the area of some kind of illegal block. Clock is stopped with 28 seconds in the half. Holding on Colby. And they will march back 10 from the spot, and that foul occurred 1 yard in the backfield, so it's an 11-yard holding foul. 18-6 Colby in a game that I think both coaches would say going into the locker room their team has been sloppy. A combined 6 turnovers, 3 on each side, and a whole lot of flags. Colby taking their time before this 1st and 21. The clock is moving, under 10 seconds. They will have to run a play here. Out of the pistol, Vaughn takes a snap and gives it to Tyler Voss. Voss surging up the middle across the 35. Picks up 5 yards on the final play of the first half. The Colby Eagles are 24 minutes away from their 8th straight victory over the Goodland Cowboys. But unlike most of the previous 7, this is not a blowout, at least not at the intermission. It's Colby 18 and Goodland 6 as we go to the break. The Cornerstone Ag halftime show's next. You're listening to the Eagles on radio on 100.3 The Ride. For 20. Halftime at Cowboy Stadium in Goodland, where the Colby Eagles lead the Goodland Cowboys 18-6. There are lots of adjectives you could use to describe that first 24 minutes. I think for Colby, you could go with disjointed. There were flashes of brilliance. There were certainly flashes of frustration, including a late quarter turnover that Goodland turned into points. But it is still the Eagles enjoying a 12-point advantage as the two teams hit the locker room for halftime. This is the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show. I am Dan Lucero. This game started with Colby recovering an onside kick and quickly moving the ball into the red zone. But a theme for the game would emerge, and it would be turnovers, as Hunter Vaughn was intercepted by Matt Nemechek just in front of the goal line as he was trying to throw a touchdown to Bryce Myers. Nemechek returned the ball to the Goodland 25-yard line to halt Colby's opening drive. Goodland's opening drive had a lot of fits and starts. There were 4 flags in total on the drive, and on a third down play, Colin Carroll sacked Matt Nemechek, setting up a 4th down and long, and on the punt snap, it never got back to Mason Hernandez. He had to try and run with the ball and lost 3 yards. So Colby started another drive in Goodland territory at the 37-yard line. But after picking up a first down, moving into the red zone, and facing a 2nd down and 5, Colby threw 3 straight incomplete passes, gave the ball back to Goodland at their own 14-yard line. 2 plays later, Colby had it back. Hunter Vaughn taking it into his own hands with an interception of Nemechek, and he returned the ball to the Goodland 11, but once again, Colby was turned aside. They did not gain a yard on 4 plays, and on 3 red zone trips in the first quarter, Colby was held scoreless all 3 times. Goodland took over at their own 11-yard line. On the first play of the second quarter, Nemechek was stripped of the ball, and Carson Van Eaton came up with the recovery for Colby at the Goodland 25-yard line. This time, Colby would make it count. 4 plays later, Tyler Voss rushed into the end zone from 3 yards out. The run on the 2-point conversion failed, but Colby had a lead, 6-0, with 10:52 to play in the first half. A 4-play, 25-yard drive that took 1 minute and 2 seconds. On the first play of Goodland's next drive, Bryson Waters fumbled the football, Tyler Voss taking it away and returning the fumble to the Goodland 14-yard line. And on the very next snap after that, Colby doubled their lead as Hunter Vaughn found a wide-open Zane Betts for a 14-yard touchdown pass. Again, Colby failed on the 2-pointer. It was 12-0 Eagles with 10:36 to play in the first half, a 1-play, 14-yard, 6-second scoring drive. After a 3-and-out, Colby got the ball back at their own 20-yard line, the first time in 6 drives that they'd started on their side of the field. But with the help of a 15-yard face mask, Colby was soon in Goodland territory, and they ate up big yards on one big play, a 46-yard touchdown bomb from Hunter Vaughn to Zane Betts. Second time those two had connected tonight. Once again, Colby could not punch in the 2-point conversion run, but it was an 18-0 Eagle lead with 6:38 to play in the first half, a 7-play, 80-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 50 seconds. After another Goodland 3-and-out, Colby quickly again moved into Goodland territory, but a hold pushed them back across midfield, and on the next play after that, Hunter Vaughn made a bad decision, throwing back across his body over the middle of the field. And again, like I said, unless your name is Patrick Mahomes, that usually means you're going to throw an interception. And that's what happened as Mason Hernandez picked the ball off at the Goodland 37-yard line. Colby forced another Goodland punt, but on the first play of the next drive, Vaughn fumbled on a quarterback keeper, and Bryson Waters came up with the recovery, giving Goodland the ball at the Colby 25 with 1:19 left in the first half, and the Cowboys would capitalize to get on the scoreboard as Nemechek found, or Hernandez rather, for a 4-yard touchdown pass. The 2-point run failed, but Goodland was on the board, 18-6 Colby with 36 seconds left in the first half. It was a 3-play, 25-yard drive that took 43 seconds. Colby ran out the clock, and that's where we stand after 24 minutes. Colby 18, Goodland 6. We'll have the halftime stats when we come back. You're listening to the Eagles on radio, 100.3 The Ride, and the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show. Colby 18, Goodland 6 at the half at Cowboy Stadium in Goodland in the 101st all-time meeting between these two Northwest Kansas rivals. Dan Lucero back with you on the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show with the halftime stats. Colby outgaining Goodland 179-70 in that first half. The Eagles with 102 passing yards, 77 rushing yards. Goodland with 61 passing yards, just 9 net rushing yards. For Goodland, Matt Nemechek, 7 of 11 through the air for 61 yards. He has thrown 1 touchdown, been intercepted once. His leading receiver, Mason Hernandez, 3 catches for 19 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Hardy has 2 catches for 20 yards. Bryson Waters has a catch for 16 yards, and Maverick Spresser has 1 catch for 6 yards. On the ground for Goodland, it is Mason Hernandez leading the way with 6 carries for 13 yards. Bryson Waters has 2 rushes for no gain. Manny Gonzalez, 1 carry for a loss of a yard. Matt Nemechek, 5 carries for a net loss of 3 yards. He's been sacked twice. Colby offensively, 15 passes, 102 yards, 19 rushes for 77 yards. Hunter Vaughn, 6 of 15 for 102 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Zane Betts, 3 catches for 67 yards, and both of Colby's scores through the air. Bryce Myers has 2 catches for 21 yards. Carson Van Eaton has 1 14-yard reception. On the ground, Tyler Voss carrying the water, 14 rushes for 55 yards and a touchdown. Zane Betts with 3 carries for 16 yards. Hunter Vaughn, 2 carries for 6 yards. Add it all up, it's 18-6 Colby. We'll take another break here on the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show. When we come back, we'll get you scores from the GWAC and from 3A District 6. And not to spoil anything, but it's looking like it could be home sweet home for the Colby Eagles next Friday night. We'll tell you why next. You're listening to the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show. It's the Eagles on the radio, 100.3 The Ride. Halftime in Goodland. Colby leading Goodland 18-6 as Colby looks for their first back-to-back wins of the season and for an 8th straight victory over their closest physical rivals. They're also looking for a chance to play at home in round 1 of the Class 3A postseason, and things are going to plan on that front for Colby as at the half, Smoky Valley is putting it on the Russell Broncos 28-0. So it is Smoky Valley up big. It is also southeast of Saline up big, 30-0 over Scott City. So those two results kind of look like a fait accompli, which means this is the interesting one. This is the closest game at the half. If Colby wins and all of the other results hold, Colby will be the 2 seed by virtue of being the only team with a 3-2 district record. And Colby will play at home next week in round 1 of the playoffs, with Russell, Scott City, and Smoky Valley subject to a points tiebreaker for the 3rd and 4th playoff spots. If Goodland comes back and wins and the other results hold, well, we have chaos. We have a 5-way tie at 2 and 3, in which point differential would be used down the line to determine seeds 2 through 4 in the playoffs. So not only would Colby winning save them a headache, they'd save some bean counters Acacia a headache trying to figure out the marginal points and figure out who's seated where and who's going where. As for the mystery of who the playoff opponent might be, if Colby does end up winning this game, Chapman and Concordia are playing tonight. The loser of that game travels to the number 2 seed in Colby's district. The winner of that game hosts. So right now it's Chapman leading Concordia 20-8. So it looks like Chapman would be the 2 seed and Concordia would be the 3 if indeed that result were to hold. Other GWAC scores tonight: Holcomb 33, Hugoton 14. That was a halftime score. Ulysses trailing Cashion, Oklahoma 20-7. That was a game that was made, I think, earlier this week between those two programs. Cashion is in the smallest 11-man class in Oklahoma, but they're one of the best teams in that class. Those two teams met halfway tonight in Alva, Oklahoma to play, and right now it's Ulysses struggling. They trail Cashion 20-7. That's your look at scores. The score in this one is Colby 18 and Goodland 6. Colby 24 minutes away from an 8th straight win over Goodland and potentially a date at home in round 1 of the Class 3A playoffs next Friday night. We'll have the second half next. You're listening to the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show on coverage of the Eagles on radio on 100.3 The Ride. Starting to get a little raw outside in Goodland on this fall Friday evening. Currently 57 degrees, and we'll get lower into the 50s as the night goes along. The offenses for both teams have run hot and cold, with each team turning the ball over 3 times in the first half. But it was Colby who gets the better of the first half exchanges, and they lead Goodland 18-6 as we get ready for the start of the third quarter from Cowboy Stadium. Dan Lucero back with you here on your home for the Eagles on radio, 100.3 The Ride. Colby with a significant total yardage advantage. Goodland's only scoring drive came on short field after the Eagles' 3rd turnover of the first half set them up at the Colby 25-yard line. But when they've been charged with going the length of the field, the Colby defense has stood tall. They have sacked Matt Nemechek twice. They have not let Goodland's ground attack get going. But Colby has struggled to run the ball as well. They do have 77 yards on 19 carries, so they're just shy of 4 yards a rush. Haven't been able to break the significant first down gains that make second and third down that much easier. And that will be something I'm sure that Reese McKinney and offensive coordinator Matt Sims will try and open up here in this second half. First, though, they'll have to send their defense out as Goodland won the opening toss and deferred. So Colby is sending their kickoff team out to start this third quarter. Deep to return for Goodland, Mason Hernandez and Manny Gonzalez, as Ian Rosales carries the kicking tee out to the 40-yard line. Rosales has kicked short twice and deep once. The deep men are dangerous. Mason Hernandez and Manny Gonzalez are awfully quick and elusive with the ball in their hands. Rosales places the ball on the kicking tee at the 40. Paces off his steps as the Colby kickoff team huddles to his right. And as Rosales signals ready for play, the kickoff unit spreads out around him. We are ready for play in quarter number 3. A low spinning kick that Devontae Hardy picks up inbounds at the 22, breaks one tackle, but here comes the horde to take Hardy down at the 28. And Devontae Hardy picking up that ball cost Goodland about I think he cost him about 12 yards of field position, because if that ball had gone out of bounds, Goodland would have taken over at the 40. Instead, they start at the 28-yard line with 11:58 showing on the clock here at Cowboy Stadium. Goodland going right to left, east to west, going towards the school and away from the Max Jones Fieldhouse, if you've been to Cowboy Stadium before. Right to left as you're listening. It's the single wing, heavy side left on first down. Snap to Matt Nemechek, end around to the wing Hernandez, and Hernandez with room down the right sideline, dragging a tackler with him, spinning across the 40 outside the right hash, up to the 44, a first down for Goodland. Mason Hernandez using his speed on that end around. That's been one of Goodland's best running plays tonight. That one goes for 16 yards and a first down. That more than doubles Hernandez's first half rushing output on his 6 carries. First and 10 for Goodland from their own 44. Ball on the far right hash. Heavy side of the line right, including the wing Hernandez. Snap back to Nemechek is a low one, end around to the left for Hernandez. And again, Hernandez bursting through the hole up to midfield before Tyler Voss finally takes him down. And in fact, Hernandez crosses midfield, it looks like, to the 49-yard line. Nope, it's spotted right at midfield, a gain of 6. Same play, but the other direction, and it is awfully tough to get a handle on the junior Mason Hernandez. Opening minute of the third quarter, Colby leading Goodland 18-6. Goodland in Colby territory, 2nd and 4 from the 49. Pre-snap motion from just about everybody. The heavy side of the line, the left. Snap to Nemechek, he follows the big blockers, and Nemechek bursting forward, has the first down, crossing the 40 before he's spilled from behind by Bryce Myers at the 39-yard line. A 10-yard pickup for Matt Nemechek, and Goodland is coming out with authority to start this third quarter, winning at the line of scrimmage in a way that they did not in the first 24 minutes. Getting behind the big heavies up front, Dexter Dawdle and Jackson Griffith. The heavy side of that line to the left on this first down play from the Colby 40. Waters to the left of Nemechek in the shotgun. Nemechek takes a snap, runs it himself between the left guard and the left tackle, and lowering the shoulder into a pile of white jerseys. He is finally muscled down at the 35-yard line, and that's a 5-yard pickup for Nemechek. Colin Carroll, Tyler Raymer, Tyler Voss tag teaming on that stop. And a solid piece of business on first down for Nemechek and the Cowboys. Under 10 minutes to play in the third quarter, opening drive of the third. Goodland trailed 18-0, scored late in the first half, trying to double tap here and make this a ball game. Heavy side of the line, the left side on second down and 5. Snap to Nemechek, end around again to Hernandez, who hits it up inside, spinning through the contact of Colin Carroll down inside the 30 for another first down. Pickup of 7 down to the 28-yard line. 5 straight running plays, and Goodland has not faced a third down yet on this drive. Started back at the Goodland 28. Now it's at the Colby 28 in just 5 plays. Right side overloaded in this first down snap. It's a sweep to the right. It's Nemechek, and Colby flows to the ball well and stops Nemechek before he can cut inside at the hash. Take him down at the 26-yard line, it appears. Maybe the 25. Call it the 25, a pickup of 3 on that first down run for Nemechek. Goodland had just 9 net rushing yards in the first half. That did include a pair of sacks and a botched punt snap, but running the ball with alacrity here to start this third quarter. Single wing, heavy side, the wide side left. And some pre-snap movement by Colby. That was Jacob Edmondson in on the defensive line, who got an early start and barreled over an offensive lineman. That is the 7th Colby penalty tonight for the 6th Colby penalty tonight for 50 yards. And after winning on first down, really holding Goodland to just 3 yards on that play, now 2nd and 7 becomes the much more manageable 2nd and 2. Tight end right, the wing and the blocking back to the left side on 2nd and 2. Snap to Waters, the man in the backfield. Waters bursting forward. Connor Lanning bangs him down, but not before. Waters picks up a first down into the red zone. 5-yard carry for Bryson Waters. And Goodland in the red zone for a second straight possession. 1st and 10 from the 16. Colby's 18-6 lead with 7:45 to play in the third quarter was once 18-0, and now Goodland poised to strike again. Heavy side of the line is the left side, and here's a whistle. Colby wants a defensive timeout. That is a sign of how dominant Goodland has been on this opening drive of the third quarter. 18-6 Colby, 7:35 to play in the third. You're listening to the Eagles on radio, 100.3 The Ride. Eighth play of this drive for Goodland is 1st and 10 from the Colby 16-yard line. It is the end around again to Mason Hernandez. Big hole again for Hernandez, shaking off tackles to the 5 to the end zone. And a flag is down after the play as Mason Hernandez skitters in from 16 yards, and we have got a ball game, 18-12, Colby's lead with 7:30 to play in the third quarter, but we're waiting on the flag. It came in right at the end of the play. And it came in at the goal line. It's a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on Goodland, so a little bit of over-exuberance on the part of the Cowboys there. That's going to cost them 15 yards, I think, on the kick. But the touchdown stands for Mason Hernandez, and there's no other way to say it. That was a statement drive for the Goodland Cowboys out of the locker room. Colby is choosing to accept the penalty and enforce the penalty on the try. And I think that's a savvy decision by Reese McKinney, because what you've done now is you've moved the 2-point try back 15 yards. And I wonder if Goodland might try and kick instead. No, they're going to empty the backfield for Matt Nemechek. Thought somebody was carrying a tee onto the field, but no such, not the case. So the 2-pointer from the 18-yard line. Nemechek, an empty backfield. Pressure by Rosales. Hit as he throws over the middle. It's intercepted by Breon Barton. And the play is dead. And boy, Ian Rosales lowered the boom on Matt Nemechek on that play. But Goodland scores for the second time in as many drives. They've scored 12 straight points, and they've made it a ball game. With 7:30 to play in the third, it's Colby 18, Goodland 12. You're listening to the Eagles on radio, 100.3 The Ride. Momentum clad in black and gold at Cowboy Stadium after an 8-play, 72-yard scoring drive to start the third quarter. A 16-yard touchdown run by Mason Hernandez, his first rushing touchdown of the year, and his second total touchdown tonight. And it cuts the Colby lead, which was once 18-0, down to 18-12 with 7:30 to play in the third quarter. Ganson Miller to kick off for Goodland. Lone man deep is Carson Van Eaton for Colby. All of Miller's kicks have been short. This one is deep and over end. Taken at the 20 by Van Eaton on the right sideline. Van Eaton makes the first man miss. Cuts it back up the middle. Has some space up near the 40-yard line before he is taken down. Miller helping out on that tackle along with Harrison Bend. And good starting field position for Colby's first drive of the third quarter. Colby had 3 red zone chances in the first quarter, went 0 for 3. Then scored on 3 straight drives, then turned the ball over on 2 straight drives, with their final drive of the half being the end of the half. This drive starts at Colby's own 38-yard line. Can the Eagles get back into their offensive rhythm and respond to the way Goodland has come out for this second half? Pistol set, 2 receivers and a wing left. A handoff goes to Tyler Voss up the gut on first down, and Voss shrugging off of contact, fighting his way across the 40-yard line up to about the 43 for a 5-yard gain on first down. Colby going left to right as you listen here in this third quarter. Dexter Dottle credited with that tackle as Voss does pick up 5 on that first down run. On 2nd and 5, Colby sends 2 receivers to the short side right, 1 to the left. So in fact, it's 3 receivers right. Snap to Vaughn. Screen, left side, and lots of room for Voss to run if he can pick up a block. He stiff arms a man down, free down the left sideline to the 40 of Goodland, and shoved out of bounds by Manny Gonzalez at the Goodland 38-yard line. Perfectly executed screen pass by the Colby Eagles. It picks up 19 and a first down. Tyler Voss's first reception of the night, his 17th catch of the season. And Colby with a fresh set of downs into Goodland territory at the 38. Eagles to the line. 2 receivers to the short side left, 1 to the right. That's Thane Betts. Betts motions across the face of the quarterback all the way to the left side. Snap to Vaughn. It's an option to the right side. Vaughn with the late pitch to Betts. Betts down the sideline to the 30, to the 25, cuts back inside, lowers the shoulder, fighting across the 20, finally wrangled down at the 19-yard line by Kyan Ensign as those two people went at it tough. A pat on the helmet from Ensign to Voss. Game recognizing game. That's an 18-yard run for Tyler Voss, his longest run of the night, and another Colby first down. Back-to-back good plays by the senior running back, Tyler Voss. And Colby with a 1st and 10 at the 20 is in the red zone for a 7th time. Empty backfield, snap to Vaughn. Bubble screen right, Bryce Myers. Myers cuts inside around a block. Now breaks it back to the outside to the 15, to the 10, stretching down close to the 5-yard line before he's tracked down from behind by Devontae Hardy. Good reading of the blockers by Bryce Myers, and the bubble screen gives Colby a 1st and goal. Trying to see where they spotted it. Looks like right at the 5. But I can't be 100% sure. It is right at the 5-yard line. So that was a 15-yard catch and run for Bryce Myers. 1st and goal from the 5. Pistol formation for Colby with the ball on the right hash. Snap to Vaughn, end around to Betts. Betts cuts inside a block, shakes off a tackle, dives for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Colby. It's a hat trick of touchdowns for the sophomore, Zane Betts. That's his first rushing touchdown of the night. And what an answer by the Colby Eagles to stretch their lead back to 12. It's 24-12 with 5:47 to play in the 3rd. Big time answer for Colby, and that time they gave Goodland a bit of their own medicine with the end around of the wing. Zane Betts following the block of Zach Griffin, shaking off contact and diving across the goal line. Now Colby to go for 2. They're 0 for 3 tonight. Voss in the gun, takes a snap. It's another end around to Zane Betts, and Betts is going to be denied. Kyan Ensign hits him low. DJ Knox finishes high, and once again, Colby cannot score on the 2-point play. But Colby goes 62 yards in just 5 plays to restore a 12-point advantage with 5:47 to play in the 3rd quarter. Colby 24 and Goodland 12. You're listening to the Eagles on radio on 100.3 The Ride. Now we've got ourselves a shootout at Cowboy Stadium in Goodland, as both teams have scored on their first drives of the second half. A 5-play, 62-yard touchdown drive for Colby. Zane Betts finishes it off with a 5-yard touchdown run. It's his 3rd touchdown of the night, his 4th rushing touchdown of the season, in addition to his 2 receiving touchdowns earlier. Colby couldn't get the 2-pointer, but they lead 24-12 over Goodland with 5:47 to play in the 3rd quarter. Ian Rosales set to kick, high and deep, end over end. Manny Gonzalez has it at the 15. Cuts back at the 20, makes a man miss. Now bursts back inside at the 25, trying to spin through traffic, and is driven down. Cyrus Johnson grabbed the legs and wouldn't let go. And Gonzalez is stopped just shy of the 25-yard line. With 5:39 to play in the 3rd, back comes the Goodland offense. They've got their running game going in a major way to start this 3rd quarter. They rushed for just 9 net yards in the first half, but everything was done on the ground on an 8-play, 72-yard drive to open the 3rd quarter. It's 1st and 10 from the Goodland 24. Cowboys moving right to left, ball between the hashes. Heavy side of the line is right with 2 receivers to that side. The snap to Hernandez, and once again it is Mason Hernandez turning the corner, shedding tackles, now stood up and shoved out of bounds on the far side. Bryce Myers and Tyler Raymer teaming up, but another excellent run for Mason Hernandez. Just when it looks like Colby has it bottled up, Hernandez is escaping through the first wave of tacklers. And he's just 1 yard shy of first down yardage there, a pickup of 9 on that first down run. So Hernandez had 6 carries for 13 yards in the first half, 5 carries for 54 yards here to start this third quarter. 2nd and 1 from the 33. Formation flips from right to left. That's the heavy side. Snap to Nemechek. Nemechek on the keeper up the middle, working his way through traffic across the 35 before the pile stops moving forward and the play is blown dead. Tyler Raymer helping Nemechek to his feet. First down yardage for the Goodland senior, getting his first career start at quarterback / tailback in the single wing tonight with Cole Linton out injured. Ball up to the 37, a 4-yard gain officially. And a fresh set of downs for Goodland with 4:43 and counting to play in the third. Colby leading 24-12. Heavy side left, ball on the right hash. Nemechek gives on the end around to Hernandez. Hernandez again bursting through the middle of the line across the 45, up close to another Goodland first down. Colby just can't lay a finger on Hernandez at the first level. Up to the 42, another 9-yard first down run. After Colby's defensive line was so good in the first half, they are getting blown off the ball to start this third quarter. 2nd and 1 for Goodland. Ball on the right hash, heavy side left. Direct snap to Bryson Waters, and Waters right into the line. This time Colby muscles him backwards, but forward progress appears to be sufficient for a first down. Needed the 48 and got it. 2 yards and a first down. .345 and counting to play here in the third quarter. Colby with the 24-12 lead. They've led since scoring on 3 straight drives in the second quarter. Heavy side left in the single wing. Snap to Nemechek. He keeps it. Sweeping to the left side. And Colin Carroll hops on his back and takes him down at midfield as 2 flags come in as the play was concluding. Good pursuit down the line from Colin Carroll from his hybrid linebacker defensive end spot. The suggestion by both teams in their body language is that this flag is on Goodland. And it is. A 10-yard foul from the spot, back to the 38-yard line. 1st and 20 coming up. For Goodland, that is their 8th penalty of the night for 75 yards. That includes that unsportsmanlike conduct after the touchdown on their last drive that made them have to try the 2-point conversion from the 18-yard line. 1st and 20, heavy side right, 2 in the backfield, Nemechek and Waters. Nemechek takes a snap, fakes the end around, rolls to his right. Pressured by Rosales, pass away, intercepted spectacularly at midfield by a leaping Bryce Myers. Bryce Myers scaled the ladder to bring down the pass outside the right hash at midfield. And Colby forces a 4th Goodland turnover tonight. Bryce Myers with his 3rd interception of the season. And with a 24-12 lead, Colby takes over at midfield with 3:04 to play in the third quarter. That was a tremendous leaping grab by Myers. The intended receiver was Devontae Hardy, but Myers took it away. On first down, a handoff goes to Tyler Voss into the middle of the line, diving down to the 45-yard line. Maverick Spresser with the stop for Goodland after the 5-yard rush by Voss. Voss up over 80 yards on the night. 17 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown for Voss. Two receivers and a wing left, one receiver right on 2nd and 5. Pistol set. Voss motions out of the backfield to the left. Snap to Vaughn. He fakes left, rolls right. Pressure in his face. Screen pass caught over the shoulder by Colin Carroll, and Carroll is close to a first down. Ripped down from behind as he was trying to turn the corner along the near sideline at the 41. That is Colin Carroll's first reception of the night, and he is just a hair shy of that line to gain. A 4-yard completion, bringing up a 3rd down and 1. Well designed, but also well defended as Carroll had to make that catch in traffic. Vaughn was on point with the throw. 3rd and call it inches. Wing right, two receivers right, the short side. The handoff goes to Voss, and Voss has a first down and more. Breaking it outside to the right, running through an ankle tackle and tripped up from behind as he crosses the 30 at the 29-yard line. 12 yards for Tyler Voss on 3rd and 1. And a big hole created by the middle of that Colby line. Zach Castigliano at center and Tyler Raymer at guard. First and 10 for Colby from the Goodland 29. Under a minute 45 to play in this first half. Two receivers short side right. And around to the wing, Zane Betts, who cuts inside at the 20. Flag is down. Betts is across the 20 to about the 18, but there is a flag behind the play. Holding on Colby. Have been a lot of deflating holding flags, really for both teams in this game, that have been costly on drives. Ball moves back 10 from the spot of the foul, which is the line of scrimmage. First and 10 becomes first and 20 from the 39-yard line of Goodland. Colby 24, Goodland 12. No change in game state from the half, where Colby led 18-6. Goodland scored to get within 6. Colby responded immediately. Now after a Bryce Myers interception, Colby trying to widen their advantage once more. Ball in the near right hash on 1st and long. Motion from the receiver left, Myers. Fake to him. Vaughn keeps. Vaughn following a block of his guard, Tyler Raymer. Crosses the 35 down to about the 34-yard line. Pickup of 4, maybe 5 on the 1st and long run. Cayenne Ensign with the tackle for Goodland. Scoreboard is calling it just a 4-yard gain, so will we. 2nd and 16 from the 35. Two receivers short side right. Snap to Vaughn, end around to the wing Betts. Betts cuts inside of a block at the 30 and is twisted down just as he crosses the 30-yard line by Mason Hernandez, coming down from his strong safety spot. Pickup of 6 for Zane Betts, who has 3 of Colby's touchdowns tonight. 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. 3rd and 10 coming up. Colby has gotten back the penalty yardage. Ball at the Goodland 29-yard line. Two receivers stacked to the left. Ball in the near right hash. Wing to the left side. Pistol formation. Snap to Vaughn, play action. Vaughn rolling left, throws to the outside in the flat. It's Betts. Betts looking for the edge. It is forced out of bounds near the fence on that side. Short of the first down at about the 24. Clock stops with 1 second to play in the 3rd quarter. It's a 5-yard gain on the catch and run for Betts on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Colby will have a 4th down and 5. Clock starts on the official signal. I'm not sure if Colby will or has to snap the ball. They are going to have to run this play in the quarter. On the left hash, pistol formation on 4th and 5. Low snap, play action. Vaughn with time, deep down the right sideline. Zane Betts is wide open, but he can't haul it in on the dive at the 5-yard line. It was just too far out in front, and Betts would have had a walk-in touchdown if Vaughn had hit him in stride. Instead, Colby turns the ball over on downs as we head to quarter number 4 from Cowboy Stadium. Put your 4 fingers in the air. 4th quarter time in the regular season finale. It's Colby 24 and Goodland 12. You're listening to the Eagles on radio on 100.3 The Ride. Colby seeking back-to-back wins for the first time in 2021 and an 8th straight victory over Goodland, which would be a Colby record in this 101-game-long series. They're 12 minutes away from just that. They lead Goodland 24-12. Goodland starting with the football, a new set of downs, 1st and 10 from their own 24 after Colby turned it over on 4th down on the final play of the third quarter. On 1st down, it's the end around going left to Mason Hernandez, and Colby is wise to it this time. They bottle it up. Zach Griffin is there along with Colin Carroll, and nothing doing for Mason Hernandez, who's been the third quarter, or was the third quarter offensive star for Goodland on that 1st down run. In fact, that looks like a loss of 2 on that run. Back to the 22-yard line. On 2nd down and 12 from the 22. Goodland in the single wing. The heavy set is the short side right as they move left to right. Hard count. Colby into the neutral zone. Ian Rosales and Nick Raymer both a little over-exuberant. And Colby is penalized for the 3rd time in the half and the 8th time tonight. 2nd and 12 becomes 2nd and 7 from the 27. We're at the top of the hour. This is KRDQ Colby, 100.3 The Ride. You're listening to the Eagles on radio. Colby Eagle football from Goodland and Cowboy Stadium, the 101st all-time meeting between Colby and Goodland. Colby leading the all-time series 55-44-1, leading this game 24-12 early in the 4th quarter. Motion from the receiver left on this play. It's a reverse, and the ball is down, and Colby recovers it. It was dropped on the reverse pitch, and Ian Rosales dives on the loose ball at the 20-yard line. The 5th Goodland turnover tonight, and Colby takes over in prime position to regain their previous 3-score lead. It was Waters in motion, pitching to Mason Hernandez on the reverse, and Hernandez never got the pitch. And so Colby has the ball at the Goodland 21 with 10:47 to play here in the game. And now Hunter Vaughn drops the 1st down snap, able to pick it up, but has nowhere to go but down. Vaughn was trying to fake the jet sweep to the motion man Betts and mishandled the snap. And he loses a yard to the 22. Second and 11 for Colby. 10:15 and counting to play, 4th quarter. Colby with a 24-12 lead. They've never trailed tonight. 2 receivers to the left. 1 receiver, Zane Betts, to the right. Shotgun with Voss to the left of Vaughn. Now Betts motions behind the quarterback. Snap to Vaughn. Pitch left to Betts. Runs through an arm tackle in the backfield. Wrestled down by his shoulders along the near sideline after a gain of about 5 or 6. It was Mason Hernandez on that tackle, and some of the Colby players thought it was close to a horse collar, but no flag came in. 3rd down coming up, trying to see from the scoreboard just how many yards Betts got, because I can't tell from my angle. Looks like 3rd and about 4. Call it that. 7-yard gain for Betts. Snap to Vaughn, give to Voss. Big hole off the left side for Voss. Cayenne Ensign grabs him from behind and wrestles him to the turf before Voss can turn the corner. But it is sufficient for 1st down yardage for Tyler Voss on the 3rd and 4 run. He makes it inside the 10 to the 9, it looks like. Maybe the 10, call it the 10. So a 4-yard run for Voss. Just shy of 100 yards on the night. 1st and goal for Colby as we approach 9 minutes to play in the 4th quarter, and the Eagles leading Goodland 24-12. Pistol set, wing left, receivers either side, ball on the left hash. Colby going right to left in this 4th quarter. Hand off to Voss, squeezes through tackles, and is shouldered down by Maverick Spresser close to the 5-yard line. Getting behind the Raymers that time, Nick and Tyler. Nick the senior, Tyler the junior. 4-yard gain for Voss, and that takes him over the century mark for the 4th time this season. He's at 103 yards on 20 carries now. 2nd and goal coming from the 6. Colby taking their time, a 12-point lead, under 8.5 minutes to play. Three receivers left, one to the right, and that receiver Betts in motion. And he takes a jet sweep. Betts following the blocks of his linebacker, stumbling across, close, and he's in. Touchdown, Colby! I couldn't quite see through the fans, but their reaction told me all I needed to know, that Zane Betts is in the end zone again for the 4th time tonight. What a night it's been for Zane Betts, and Colby now matches their largest lead of the night, 30-12 with 8:08 to play. A 6-yard touchdown run for Zane Betts, and now Colby 0 for 4 on 2-point tries tonight. We'll give it another go. Hunter Vaughn in the shotgun, takes a snap, pump fake, late pitch to Betts, looking for the pylon, and this time Colby converts. A 20-point Colby lead, their largest of the night, 32-12 with 8:08 to go. You're listening to the Eagles on radio, 100.3 The Ride. Welcome back to Cowboy Stadium in Goodland. Colby takes advantage of another Goodland turnover. Goodland has turned it over 5 times tonight. Colby has scored touchdowns off of 3 of those turnovers. Ian Rosales falling on a fumble, and 5 plays later, Colby turns it into 8 points this time. Zane Betts with a 6-yard touchdown run and then takes it in himself on the 2-pointer to give Colby a 32-12 lead with 8:08 to play in this final game of the regular season. And now Colby can taste it. Their first back-to-back wins of the season, a winning record in district play, and potentially, depending on the developments in the Smoky Valley-Russell game, a home game in round 1 of the playoffs next Friday night against either Concordia or Chapman. Ian Rosales set to kick it off, and he puts his whole foot into that one, and it goes into the end zone for his 2nd touchback of the season. Ian Rosales didn't start kicking off until week 6 against Russell, but he has emerged as a real weapon in the kickoff game. Goodland will start at their own 25-yard line. Check that, their own 20, I'm sorry. With 8:08 left in the game, it's really a must-score drive for a Goodland team that is much more comfortable going at a slower, more deliberate offensive pace with their single-wing offense. They're likely going to have to open up the passing game. Matt Nemechek is 6 of 12 tonight for 61 yards and a touchdown. He's also been intercepted twice. 3 wide receivers, 2 men in the backfield. Receiver left in motion. It's Waters. He takes the handoff, keeps it this time. Hitting the backfield. Ian Rosales has him and won't let go. And a big loss on first down. Connor Lanning penetrated first and threw Waters off course. And then Rosales was able to shed his block and finish off the TFL. Loss of 3 on that play, back to the 17. 2nd and 13 coming up. Goodland a little slow getting out of the huddles. We approach 7.5 minutes. Cowboys need 3 scores, down 32-12. Shotgun, 3 receivers right, running back to the right. Nemechek takes a chest-high snap, short drop, and it's a Statue of Liberty handoff to Mason Hernandez, sprinting to the left, chased down from behind by Breon Barton, who trips him up just outside the 20-yard line on the left hash. Pretty cool play design. They faked a screen, and then Nemechek put the ball behind his back for Mason Hernandez to come and take on an end around. But Colby was really wise to it, and they slowed Hernandez's ability to get to the corner. And Breon Barton dove and got enough of the shoelaces to trip up Hernandez at the 23-yard line. So just a 5-yard gain on that bit of trickery. I didn't use the word trickeration there. It's not a word, and my mom hates when I say that word. So I've eliminated it from my broadcast vocabulary. On 3rd and 8, Nemechek to throw. Rolls to his right, pressure from the backside, zips it over the middle and has a catch. It's Hernandez across the 30, first down yardage. Held up by Vaughn and Lanning before the play is blown dead along the right hash. Good strong throw from the right-handed Matt Nemechek to the 32-yard line, a pickup of 9 on the catch for Hernandez, his 4th reception of the night, and a much-needed first down for the Goodland Cowboys. .6:15 and counting to play in this one. Colby up 32-12, looking for their 8th straight victory over the Goodland Cowboys. It would be the most wins in a row for Colby over Goodland in the history of the rivalry. Ball in the near right hash, shotgun on first down. Snap to Nemechek, chest high, 3-step drop. Flush to his left and loses his footing, and down he goes. Ian Rosales in the vicinity gets credit for the sack, all the way back at about the 23, maybe the 22-yard line. A loss of 10 on the play. And the 3rd Colby sack of the night. Goodland trying to pick up the tempo here. Empty backfield, 5 receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Ball between the hashes on 2nd and 20. Snap back to Nemechek, 3-step drop. Steps up in the pocket, throws over the middle, pass is knocked away, incomplete. Through the hands of Devontae Hardy at about the 35, and also off the arm of the defender, Breon Barton, in coverage. Breon Barton maybe hasn't had as splashy a game as his debut was last week when he had the sack on his first snap and a pick 6 that sealed the win over Scott City, but he's a big part of this Colby defense almost out of nowhere down the stretch here, and he has played well again tonight. 3rd and 20 from the Goodland 22. High snap, Nemechek back to throw. Pressured, steps up in the pocket, sheds a tackle. Throws over the middle, and it's short of his intended target. DJ Knox, incomplete at the 32-yard line. If Knox had caught it, he had some room if he'd cut it back up the middle, but still had a long way to go for a first down. Instead, it's 4th down and 20, and with Goodland down 20 and 5:14 to play, even though the ball is at the Goodland 22, the Cowboys' offense is staying on the field. This is the last gasp, it would appear, for the Goodland Cowboys tonight. Goodland sends their itty-bitties off the field. They got their big boys at wide receiver out. But first, Jordan Mosier calls a timeout. This has to be as good a play as they've run all night. A 4th and 20 coming up after this timeout. The first one called by Goodland in the half. Colby with a 32-12 lead over their rivals 30 miles to the west. Again, last we knew, southeast of Saline and Smoky Valley were comfortably ahead. And in fact, we do have a final score. Smoky Valley defeats Russell tonight, 35-0. So, with that loss, Russell's playoff fortunes are probably going to come down to a tiebreaker. Southeast of Saline and Colby both hold on. Russell, Scott City, and Smoky Valley will be in a 3-way tie that will come down to point differential. And it bears mentioning that Russell and Scott City had the same point differential going into tonight. So if they finish with the same point differential in this scenario, Smoky Valley would end up the 3rd seed. And Russell, by virtue of their regular season win over Scott City, would make the playoffs, and Scott City would be out. When was the last time Scott City missed the playoffs? 4th and 20. Snap to Nemechek. Blitzed off the edge by Lanning. Throws it deep down the right side. It's an arm punt picked off at the 45 by Bryce Myers with room to return to the left sideline. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Colby! Bryce Myers, a 45-yard interception return, and it's the exclamation point on the continuation of 8 years of dominance for Colby over Goodland on the gridiron. 38-12 with 5:02 to play. The 3rd defensive touchdown of the year for Colby. They've all been pick sixes, and that one was about as easy as it gets for Bryce Myers. I'm telling you, nobody came close to it. There were 2 receivers and 2 defenders in the area. The receivers all outran the ball. And that left Myers with clear sailing down the left sideline for the pick six. Ian Rosales going to try an extra point, but the snap goes back to Rosales. He's going to throw, and he threw it right to Devontae Hardy. Well, last week, Ian Rosales carried in for a 2-point conversion out of a package that Ian Rosales himself was allowed to name. He named it Big Mac, and he ran in senior dive for the 2-point conversion. That was not meant to happen. He was out there to try the extra point, but the snap from Jacob Edmondson was high. Rosales caught it and yelled fire, as you're supposed to do, but couldn't find an open receiver. (38-12) is the score with 5:02 to play. As Colby leads Goodland and is on track for an 8th straight win over the Cowboys. And they will be riding high with back-to-back wins going into the postseason, improving to 4-4 overall. And they'll finish up 3-2 in the GWAC, a winning record in the district and the GWAC as well. Hayden Fiken is going to kick off for Colby. First time we've seen Fiken handle kickoff duties in a while. Carson Van Eaton started the year as a kickoff man, then Fiken worked his way into the rotation, and over the last 3 weeks, Ian Rosales has been handling the lion's share of the kicks. Fiken has the ball teed up right in the middle of the 40-yard line. Gonzalez Hernandez deep to return. Fiken approaches. Right-footed line drive punch, and this is going to skitter out of bounds along the near the left sideline. So good field position to start the night, or start this drive with 5:02 left in the game for the Goodland Cowboys. Goodland came out with an impressive drive to start the third quarter, combined with their capitalizing on a Colby turnover to score late in the first half. It was 12 straight points for Goodland. They were within 18-12, but Colby threw a haymaker right back. A 5-play, 62-yard scoring drive capped off by a Zane Betts touchdown run. That restored Colby's 12-point lead, and Goodland has turned the ball over on their 3 subsequent drives, making now 6 Cowboy turnovers tonight. And it does not matter who you are or who you are playing against. When you turn the ball over 6 times, you're going to have a bad time. That means Colby's +3 in the turnover margin. Colby's been pretty profligate with the ball by their standards tonight, turning it over 3 times. 1st and 10 from the 35 for Goodland. Matt Nemechek in the backfield. It's the end around to the left for Hernandez, and Tyler Voss meets him in the hole. Good job by Hernandez to keep driving the legs and get a couple extra yards before Carson Van Eaton comes to help finish off the tackle at about the 38, maybe the 39. Call it the 38. 3-yard gain for Hernandez on his 15th carry of the night. They've gone for 82 yards and a score. Clock approaching 4.5 minutes to play in this one. Colby with 20 unanswered points at this stage. Snap to Bryson Waters in the backfield. He is driven backwards by Zach Griffin. And Zach Griffin came out with the ball. And it's Colby ball. Zach Griffin just took his cookies, and Colby forces a 7th turnover tonight. Back at the 33-yard line. Zach Griffin just wanted the ball more than Bryson Waters did, and big boyed him, took it right away. And after a moment of hesitation and confirming from the officials, possession is awarded to Colby with 4:21 to go. What a play by Zach Griffin. So Colby ball at the 34-yard line of Goodland. First down handoff to Tyler Voss, bouncing off of contact in the backfield, and finally taken to the turf by Kyan Ensign after a minimal gain, if any gain. Zach Griffin's 18th birthday isn't for another couple of weeks, but that was a grown man play. He just stole the ball from Bryson Waters. He said, "What you have, I want." Nothing doing on that run for Voss officially. Second down and 10 for the Eagles on the Goodland 34. First team offense and line still on the field. Pistol set, receiver from the right, Myers in motion. Fake to him and a give to Voss with a gaping hole to run through. Voss across the 30, dragging the pile down towards the 25-yard line. A misdirection and the blocking on the left side of the Colby line really opened things up for Voss, and it will give Colby a 3rd and short here. Looks like the ball is right at the 25. A 9-yard pickup brings up a 3rd and 1. Approaching 3 minutes to play from Cowboys Stadium, 38-12 Colby. This will be not only the 8th straight win for Colby in the series, the 8th straight win by 18 or more points as it currently stands. Big hole up the gut for Voss on 3rd and 1. He's got the first down before he's taken out at the ankles by Kyan Ensign at the 22. But plenty of space for Voss to dart through into the second level and pick up that first down. Voss up to 116 yards on 23 carries. So make your plans next week. Denon Field. That's where Colby will be for round 1 of the playoffs. They will play either Concordia or Chapman, depending on who loses that game tonight in 3A District 5. Last we checked, Chapman led 20-8 at the half. 1st and 10 from the Goodland 22. Pistol with 2 receivers right. Vaughn taking his time before he takes a snap and around Zane Betts. Following the block of the tight end, Colin Carroll, into traffic at midfield and tripped up before he can get to the 15-yard line. DJ Knox and Kyan Ensign in on that stop. As we go under 2 minutes to play in this one after that 6-yard run by Zane Betts. Zane Betts tonight with 118 all-purpose yards and 4 touchdowns. A night to remember for the sophomore. Colby content to bleed clock, Farmers and Merchants Bank postgame show coming up. We'll hear from Reese McKinney, the victorious head coach. Bryce Myers motions from the right. He takes it on a jet sweep. Myers makes a cut, now bounces it back outside into a wall of black jerseys and forced out of bounds, which stops the clock with 1:19 to play in the game. Probably not what Colby had in mind there for Myers to stop the clock. Just shy of first down yardage. Call it a 3-yard rush for Myers on his first carry tonight. 3rd and 1 coming up from the 14-yard line. Ball in the near left hash. Colby sends two receivers right. One receiver left is Betts. Betts motions across the face of the quarterback, Vaughn. Stops as the right wing, and he'll be a lead blocker for Tyler Voss. Voss up the gut, has the first down. Pyle still moving down close to the 5-yard line. First down, Colby with 1:14 to go. All the way to the 4-yard line, a 10-yard rush for Tyler Voss. Now, Colby is up 26. The most marginal points they can get at 21. If Reese McKinney's looking for marginal points, there are no more to be had by scoring here. So we'll see what Colby decides to do. It looks like they're going to bunch everybody up and sit on this. Well, now they back up into the pistol set with Bryce Myers, but Myers is way back at the quarterback, Vaughn. Vaughn takes the snap, comes forward, and takes a knee at the 5, and that's going to be the final play of the game. It had never been accomplished in the 101-year history of this rivalry, but Colby has beaten Goodland 8 straight times. They had to break a sweat tonight, unlike some of the previous years. But a dominant second half and a 7-turnover performance gives the Colby Eagles yet another victory over their rivals 30 miles to the west. It is a final. The Colby Eagles 38, the Goodland Cowboys 12. The Eagles move to 4-4, 3-2 in 3A District 6. Goodland finishes 1-7, 1-4 in the district, and Colby will be at home next Friday night for round 1 of the Class 3A playoffs. We will step aside for a break. The Farmers and Merchants Bank postgame shows next. You've been listening to the Eagles on radio on 100.3 The Ride.